There we go.
All right, it says we're live, so we're just
Zero
going to go with
hour.
it. Welcome to Zero Hour. We had a little change of scenery tonight because all the storms and stuff did a number on Mark down there. Not that they didn't do a number here too, but we still have internet, and I got to turn my phone off. There we go.
Yep, I'm doing that myself.
So we are here on my channel tonight with our special guest Chance Paladin, and of course Mr. Half Ready. We'll be over on his channel next week, so we just kind of flip for the week. It'll all work. So, in case somebody in here is not familiar with Chance, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello, good evening, everybody. My name is Chance Paladin, and I write newbie prepper books. And my newest summer edition of Bunker Basics is coming out very, very soon. So I hope you will all buy it and report the 1-star bastard that put a nasty review on my show, on my book. Thank you.
There's always one, There's
always one.
Well, you got to have one.
That's right.
So
the token retard.
I figured I'd let you bitch about it for about a month, and then I'll go take it down.
Oh, thank you. Unfortunately for them, I know who it is because they put their real name on there because they're an idiot.
Oh, well, that wasn't very right.
That wasn't very
Steve,
smart.
good to see you. Jenkins Garden, Billy, Granny, Dan H, Vanessa, Big Hoss. Who else we got? Salt Mist, Little Lone Prepper, King Corso, Dana. Good to see you. Prepared for. Good to see you. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. I'm sure I missed somebody. Think I seen Maggie in here.
Yep.
So welcome in. Yep, there's Maggie. Welcome in, everybody. And so we talked backstage a little bit about a few things to talk about. What I didn't mention backstage was the weather. Because that's been a little crazy. They're on day 12 of a power outage in northern Illinois. Day 12.
Now they're saying it's because of the storms. Is that it, or is it more than that?
Well,
they were saying it was the straight line winds that knocked down a bunch of trees and took out.
Yeah, but
it's like 200 power poles and.
Sounds like bullshit to me.
It's the third world. It's the third world infrastructure we have in this country. Yeah. It don't take but one storm to mess you up for 12 friggin' days, man. Well, that and the fact that we shipped half of the power companies that normally come and help us out to Hawaii. So they're all over in Hawaii now putting the big island back together.
Hey, Prepper now, good to see you.
Again, putting the island back together again, just like Puerto Rico. But I mean, it's good training, right? Whether they go to Guam, Puerto Rico, or Hawaii, it's training, but they need to come back at some point.
Yeah. Well, during Helene down here, right? After Helene, I was without power 15 days, and I'm definitely rural, but I'm close enough to the main towns here that 15 days is a long time to go without power for us. But, again, it was catastrophic. The damage done here was catastrophic. But I looked up and I actually took a couple of cases of beer to one of the power companies working down the road, and most of them spoke French. They were from Canada.
Okay.
And they had come down, and man, those guys were awesome. They worked like, look, hats off to anybody who's a damn linesman in this country. Okay, yeah. You guys not only work your butts off when we need you to, but you're dealing with sorry, I didn't mean to knife hand everybody. They're just dealing with basically a third world grid anymore. But
it's held together with popsicle sticks. I mean,
I think that they can fix everything via the internet, right? So they're always touting, because I'm sure y'all did too. Everybody in America just had a recent uptick in your electricity bills because they're working on all this infrastructure. Well, their infrastructure is all based on internet, web-based stuff, so they can reroute power from those places that have power to places that don't have power. Well, I don't give a
Yeah.
damn how much you reroute power if you don't have a line to transmit said power. It's not going to get where it needs to go, right?
Exactly.
Well, it's more than that. That's part of it. The other part is a lot of these Places only have one line in, so it doesn't matter.
Right. Like,
Like,
right. No, and it's just we're going to have to go back to FDR days of the rural electrification days again, because honestly, rural places are the ones that are taking the brunt of this, right? They're the place where, I do too, Dana, but they're taking the brunt of these places who are not hiring the folks that trim the trees off the power lines and do the things that they used to do when we were kids, right? You used to see those guys always trimming and brush cutting and
clearing
stuff.
brush. Yeah, exactly.
They don't do that anymore because they can't afford it, right? They just can't afford to do it, so they're hiring these private companies to do it for them, and they do a half-assed job, right?
Which is why you're called
Good to see
half-ass
you.
ready, because
There
we're
you
doing
go.
we've
My
come
daddy
full
telling me
circle.
we're half-assing it as we speak.
So then on top of all that, in northern Indiana, because Gary, Indiana still got, I think it was 20,000 people that don't have power almost 2
Right.
weeks later. And then we had down in the Columbus area, they had some massive flooding. Like, I don't know if you've seen the videos and all that,
Yeah,
but
I
it
did.
was crazy. I checked on Trent and rural, make sure they didn't have any flooding, and they're all good. So, but yeah, man, I mean, they had I-71 and I-70, which are two major interstates, were both closed because you couldn't get down through there.
Yeah.
It was insane the amount of rain they had.
Yeah, I know. I know a little bit about that. I mean, but
Yeah, you would know a little bit. Yeah, definitely.
dude. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't just the main highways closed down here. It was even the back roads. But and that look, 12 days is a long time to go without power, y'all. I'm gonna tell you. I know
That is.
it's a long time to go. But like I told y'all last year when we started this, I don't prep for 3 days anymore. I prep for at least 15 days with no power because I've been there, right? So you have to prep for 2 weeks without power. At least
Exactly.
up there, at least when you call 911, they can get to you, right? When some of these
Hey,
natural
coffee.
you can't. Oh, hey, coffee. Good to see you, girl.
Good to see you. Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, it has.
But yeah,
So,
if the people in Indiana that prep for 3 days ran out of stuff 9 days ago.
Yeah.
And they're still out of power. So,
Right.
you're exactly right.
No. It's look, and I've always said my very, very first video on my channel was being self-sufficient. That's what I called it. And my very first, the reason I got into this, the reason I do this, period, is because when I first started on the internet, and I wasn't necessarily just YouTube, I started questioning how I could do better at it, right? And so you had this 3-day list from FEMA, right? The 3-day prepping list. And then you had this group of I call them super preppers, right? Who had a bunker in the middle of nowhere and 40 acres and weren't worried about and millions of dollars, right? And
Right.
we, this entire group, Chad included, we fall in between those two groups. And I thought, okay, how can I help that group of people, right? That's where I am. That's where most people are. And you can take that 3-day FEMA list and wipe your fanny with it.
Exactly.
It's no bueno. I mean, look, it's a starting point. It's a starting
It
point.
is.
And at least you're thinking about
think
something. You're trying it.
Yeah. I think it's just to make you feel better. Like, okay, I got three days, I'm good. When reality, you're not.
Well, holy shit, we have a question. Stop the presses. We actually have a question in the chat. This is, I don't even know what to do.
Did I
Steve
miss it?
Fierce says, what's the worst thing about being without power for 2 weeks. And I said stupid people. Obviously, like it's more than that, but
Right.
actually, I like that
The worst
question a lot.
Well, I do too, and I have pretty strong opinions about it. So but
Well, it depends. It depends on if you're prepared or not. If you're prepared, probably the worst is, I don't know what, not being able to take a hot shower. But other than that,
I don't even have that problem. But what happened to me, just from my personal experience, was I started getting nervous about fuel for my generator, right? Because it was hard to get. I ended up having enough. I didn't have, and I wasn't panicking, but I was getting to the ration point where I was going to have to ration electricity, right? But the biggest problem I had was being the only guy on the street with electricity. Okay. So I would have these random people show up needing to charge their fucking phone that didn't work. And so then you get the security paranoia, right? But you have to be a neighbor, man. You have to be a neighbor. So you vet what you can vet at the time you can vet it, and you try to help them, right? So, after it was over, I felt much better about the way it went and the way I handled it and myself. But I didn't struggle, but I watched people who did. Okay, I did. I watched people who did, and I'm going to tell you the biggest thing about most of my neighbors who struggled was not having a way to heat water when you needed hot water. Okay. Yeah. So there were people in my neighborhood, and I'm telling you, I love my neighbors. She is a total badass because she went 15 days without telling me she couldn't heat water. And I had 15 ways for her to heat water. In fact, she went to the grocery store and brought me a jug of water back from the grocery store. I'm like, baby, I don't need water. I don't need anything. Please take care of you. I'll take care of me. But if I could have helped her, if I would have known, I would have helped her. But she basically eat cold pork and beans because she couldn't turn her stove on. And so immediately afterwards, I did a video of what your basic home prepping kit, not your prepping stuff, what you need to use said stuff, right?
Yep.
And I don't know. It's look, a lot of people don't tune in and listen to people like us, right? So when the shit hits the fan, they're immediately in trouble, right? They're immediately what ifing. What if I hadn't? What if I should have, right? And so that's why I'm not a silent prepper. I mean, I know a lot of people are, and I'm not faulting anybody for that. That's y'all do you, I'll do me, but I'm not a silent prepper. I talk about it wherever I'm at, right?
Right. And I'll bet you we're about to get about to get a whole lot of new people involved in prepping in northern Indiana and Columbus.
Right.
Yeah. So here's
in Franklin County.
Yeah, I think it's almost worse. We almost have a worse problem now in a way. Like you might say that not being prepped is the worst thing in the world, but like you've got all these, and OVP has got a favorite kind of YouTube channel. He loves those AI ones that are like sketch drawn and AI narrated. That are those SEO clickbait. My fear because those are so like child oriented, entry newbie level oriented, that they don't want to go see any of your all's ugly asses, and they don't want to see my picture vibrating in their face. Right. Like they want to go see those stupid child drawn AI SEO bait. So you're now going to have it's going to be the first day of the apocalypse, and OVP is going to know who's who because there's going to be a line of people with 120-pound bug out bags, and he's going to go, "I knew it, I knew it."
Yeah, right.
and you're like, okay, all of you come over here, dump your bags out.
The AI raccoon or something.
The AI raccoon, yeah, you're going to have the AI raccoon prepper squad, and in my opinion, that's worse in a lot of ways. 5 of each side.
It is going to be worse.
Yeah. I like, what Eric was talking about too. After the storm, Eric, I have battery solar generators now. I didn't have those before, and so now I'm really at a good place in my prepping where I'm not panicking about fuel, right? Especially for 15 to even 25 days. I think we did the math the other day. And so I'm not panicking anymore about that. But yeah, look, and like I think it was Coffee First talking about the 18-month grid down thing. Look, at 18 months, even if you have solar, it takes so long to charge a solar generator with solar power, especially you guys up north.
Oh yeah, like I practiced it a while ago and a couple months ago, even with the sun straight overhead. You figure you've only got maybe 9 hours of workable solar a day,
right.
Even if you're in a clear field.
Right.
You start doing the math, and it's very, very, very grim. If you needed to run anything serious, like keep an AC going because it's 120 degrees out. Yeah. And when it gets that hot, solar starts freaking out anyway and doesn't really work that well. Right. You can't keep the batteries out there or your batteries fry. Tactical donkey, exactly. And so that's why, I'm getting better at plugging my book. That's why in the next edition of my book, a huge chunk of it's going to be homesteading stuff. Because like you can't, I don't care how good your preps are, you're going to run out of something.
Yeah. Right, Mike. I like what Mike said. You'll get less than half of what you think you will. Yeah.
Yes.
But,
yes.
I mean, you've got something, but at 18 months, you have to realize you don't have refrigeration anymore. You don't have a freezer anymore. You're basically hoping you can charge what electrical tools you need and maybe run your well pump for fresh water. By the time 18 months is out, hopefully by then you have the hand tools and hand things you need to work without electricity anymore.
I think.
Okay, so Steve said he saw a couple of videos, and Coffee mentioned this too, about headlines about 18-month power outages. Yeah. Well, they were probably fear porn because, some of these channels love the fear porn. But, I mean, could it happen? Well, yeah, anything can happen.
Sure.
I don't think that's,
but I'm just,
I mean, I wouldn't worry about that and stay up at night worrying about that. But
my personal opinion, if you see an 18-month power outage, you're probably never going to see power come back on. Okay.
That's possible.
That's a end of the world scenario. For a first world nation, that's the end of the world scenario. 18 months with no power, with no communications grid, no internet grid, no power grid. That's the end of the world. Okay, end of the world. It don't even have to be 18 months. I would say 1 month is the end of the world.
What did they say if the power went out for a year? Was it 90% wouldn't make it? Is that the stat they put out?
Yeah.
If I had to guess, people come up with the 18-month thing because that's how long it takes to replace a transformer.
From those big ones, yeah.
And I think the reality is, again, now there's some places with only one line, and you're screwed. But most places have 3 lines into them. The chances is they'll be able to replace the transformers on one of those 3 before. Maybe 2 of those 3 before the 18 months is up. It's only if you have a mega specialized transformer that they can't get something in there and working.
Yeah,
and 18 months is just not realistic.
Yeah, I mean,
we don't build them in America. It takes 2 years to build them.
Yeah, it takes 2 years to build one.
Yeah,
So you're not going to be without.
I mean, if we get EMP'd, okay, let's just throw this out there. You're going to be out of power for, depending on where you live, a decade, 15 years. I mean, okay, if you live in Washington, D.C., maybe you'll be one of the first ones because it takes so long to replace one of them, the big ones. And they're only, the first thing they're going to start off with is like Washington, D.C., and any place that has a big military base, So if you're in Dayton, maybe you'll get power, back within a couple of years or something. But if you're like rural where we are, you might not see power for a decade or two.
Well, not that I am privy to any kind of specialized information, but I know if I was in charge, there is a plan for who will get power and who will never get power back. Okay. So we cannot continue to allow, if I'm in power, okay, we cannot continue to allow people like me and you,
it's good to see you,
to be a danger to the New World Order.
Well,
so
yeah, good point,
because they're not going to rob resources from these centers of population to bring to me. So we're never, maybe never, maybe too strong of a word, but we're way down the pipe on the plan. Again, I'm not privy to said plan. Probably nobody but the chief of the NCIS is. So, the NSA,
but we could talk about what the plan would look like, because it's come up in the chat. What the plan would look like is actually not replacing the transformers at all, and just moving giant generators into specific areas. So what'll happen is, once the roads are rebuilt from whatever shenanigan happens, which it could even just be floods, the roads could be washed out. It could be big trees, or it could be a bunch of power lines that are, they'll get giant generators to those areas, because like Mike said, they're going to be trying to get sanitation working again.
Right.
Unless it was an earthquake, but most of you don't have an earthquake problem. So they're going to get those generators to the water sanitation plants and then slowly try to get everybody's water back.
Sure.
For example.
Sure. Right.
Like they have plans for this stuff. It's just not a fully restructured plan. It's an emergency plan.
They can move and they can even build direct current generators quickly, but direct current don't go far, right?
Yeah.
So they would move into these population centers and set up direct current energy for said population centers. Pumping that out to the rural world takes alternating current, which inversely needs transformers and high tension wires and step down equipment, inverters, to take the high voltage back to 120. So, and these are the things that
we're going to have to move.
Technology is behind. Well, these are the things we're behind on. Why I say third world power grid. It's why I say that.
Well, because it literally, we have the facsimile of a grid, the illusion of a grid now, which is in reality backed up by generators. I mean, that's what happens with EVs. Guess what happens? Like, they got to wheel out generators for the EVs. They got to wheel out generators for the data centers. Even a couple weeks ago, for a while, the data centers were running off of generators because the grid was starting to brown out because of what was a heat wave or something. So they can run, if you guys need to wrap this around your head, not you guys, I mean the chat, they can run data centers, whole data centers, the things that they have been bitching about, they can run those off generators.
Yeah.
If you want to understand like the scale.
Yeah.
The scale is massive.
I have a lot of unpopular ideas about data centers, especially.
Yeah, me too.
Just don't touch the generators.
I mean, look, we land where we land on these things, and y'all's opinion is your opinion, and my opinion is my opinion. Okay. But I have again, I have a whole lot more to worry about than data centers. I can tell you that right now.
No, but the generator concept, since most people are familiar with these data centers now, and they go, oh, these data centers, they use 500 houses or something. It's like, okay, yeah. So now you can understand how big the generators are. They could easily power a small town.
Yeah,
with these, and they will be powering
they will.
small towns. They will,
but they will pick and choose. If I was in charge, I would pick and choose certain population centers in certain places. And if you want to survive with electricity, you will have to relocate yourself to that population center.
Yep.
Which means leaving your bug-in location.
Yeah, and that's also going to conveniently be where all the food is.
Yeah,
and also probably trafficking caravans and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, right. And they're probably going to make you surrender your firearm when you get there.
You're 15
oh yeah. And then you're not going to be able to get back out again.
They move you into your 15-minute city.
That's right.
They're going to shoot a tag in your butt, so you can't go anywhere.
Yep, you'll be in your 15-minute city.
Yeah,
and you don't need a car because it's only 3/4 of a mile. So, yes, you were eatsy bugs.
Eatsy bugs.
I haven't heard anything from old Klaus lately.
I don't know that's the giant conspiracy for them doing this. I just think that that's just the nature of what this disaster we're talking about will be one of the results of said disaster. But again, if I'm in charge and I'm trying to save the most people I can save, then that makes sense to do it that way, right?
Yeah.
I just don't want to be a part of that.
That's what FEMA does.
I don't want to be saved, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, right. Especially from the government.
Yeah.
But we're bound to have a problem with the grid, because if you look into these data centers and stuff, the amount of power that they need to operate all the ones that are built and are in the process of being built is like twice what the U.S. grid can even put out. So there's going to be a problem. There's going to be some kind of problem. Either they're going to just keep raising the rates until normal people can't afford power anymore. That way they don't have to give them to them and it's not their fault, or something. But something's going to have to give, because it's not sustainable.
I mean, I'm of the opinion that I don't give a damn about the data centers. We're building enough houses and enough people are moving in to certain places of the country. They're putting a damn load on it. And every house, look, if you're south of the Mason-Dixon line, every damn house that's built is stacked loaded with electric heat and electric air conditioning. Okay. So when it gets to 100 degrees, which it does.
It's called electrification.
There you go. We're just grid and sucking the power out of the grid.
Which would have been fine on its own.
New power plants.
Yeah, it would have been fine on its own, but then they have everyone driving EVs everywhere. And before EVs, they had everyone running crypto rigs.
Yep.
So the crypto rigs were okay. They weren't bad, but it was okay. The EVs, it was like, okay, the EVs, this is getting a little worse. And then the data centers, it's like, okay, never mind. Like, there goes the grid. Also, Dan H is talking about cold starting getting.
And I love what he's talking about. That's some shit nobody thinks about.
Yeah, it's massive.
Well, the general person don't think about it, right? They just think that, okay, I've got a new transformer, just start the damn generator again. Yeah, it don't quite work that way. Sorry, I didn't mean
to. It's not just flip a switch and it's turned back on. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just much like oil rigs. These power plants aren't meant to be shut off ever. Right. Ever. Like, you can't just shut down a nuke plant. Like, I don't know. Like, anyway.
Right. It just doesn't work like that. Yeah.
It doesn't. And powering the grid on, powering the grid on is a giant bitch, because everybody's stuff is already plugged in and turned on from when the grid went down. So as soon as they try to turn the poor grid back on, it tries to power up everybody's stuff simultaneously, and it takes 3 or 4 times sometimes to get the grid back up.
That's right.
just
Yeah.
because of everyone's crap that's turned on.
Right. Well, that, and when you cold start your house, okay, when you go out and flip the breaker back on,
Oh yeah.
rain back on, when you cold start your refrigerator, your freezer, your 2 refrigerators you probably have, because everybody's got a beer fridge, and your AC unit, your HVAC unit.
Your heat pump, all
When
that.
you cold start that stuff, dude, you talk about, go out there and watch the little frisbee on the back of your house spin like crazy.
Yep. I did that the other day.
Yeah.
We had to do some work on the house, and yeah, it turns out some of our breakers are actually all the way out at the meter, which
Right.
I didn't even know was a thing. So that was, I always assumed that was the second a slot for the second meter, but it's not. And folks, if you don't practice by shutting your panel off, sometimes you really have no idea what's going to happen. You have
Coffee, you
multiple-
need a beer fridge, okay? I'm just telling you. Every good prepper needs a beer fridge.
a beer. Yeah.
I don't
The
have
other
a beer.
thing.
Well, I do have a beer fridge, but there's no beer in it.
Well, you don't have to put beer in your beer fridge. You can put chicken in your beer fridge, okay? But you need a beer fridge.
Yeah, and the thing that other people don't, or the thing that people forget about too, is grid down in the summer is completely different than grid down in the winter.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
those 2 extremes is when the grid's favorite time to go down, or psychos, if
Yeah.
psychos are attacking it. Like this is the summer. This is when we need water the most. Guess what's happening? Like, our water systems are being attacked left and right. It's the same thing with the grid. Like, they don't have to tip it over much when it's already hot as balls or cold as balls out because of electrification. So you need to prep, unfortunately, and I know, it's not fun with your spouses to try to explain. You're prepping for only 1 or 2 days a year. And I know that you might think, oh, you can ride it out 1 or 2 days. Not if it's sub-zero temperatures. The people in Portland all had tents inside their houses to stay alive
Right.
because they had like 3 deep freezes in a row.
Yeah.
That could have like killed half the city if it had kept
Well,
going.
we were so lucky during Helene here. After Helene, that time of the year when the Helene came through could be very cold, but it was just super average temps. It was just, we were so lucky. The death toll could have doubled or tripled here had it gotten cold like it can get that time of year here. We were very fortunate because nobody had power.
Yeah, because it was September, right?
Yeah, well, it came in late September, but there were places in Yancey County and some of the more rural counties that didn't get power back for 30, 45 days. So it's in November into almost December before everybody got power back. And, dude, we were fortunate. We had nice, moderate temps up until January, February of that year, the following year, 25.
Yeah.
But no, it could have been a lot worse here. Could have been.
I mean, there was Katrina also, where like you might be able to survive Katrina, but can you survive the mosquitoes after Katrina?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I mean, you're talking about malaria and all kind of boingo diseases that come from those equatorial places. But yeah, Vanessa Kitty, that's the plan. That's the prepping plan. Or it should be. But again, you cannot. And we go back to that 18-month thing, right? You cannot prep for electricity forever. I mean, you're going to have certain amounts of electricity with your solar stuff, but you're going to eventually not have electricity for most of the time. Right?
Yeah, eventually you're going to be in the 1800s again. Yeah.
Right. So again, that's part of my plan. Look, and I purchase a lot of hand tools and these sorts of things so that I can keep doing what I need to do without power. But again, that takes manpower, right? That takes calories. That takes community. Okay.
It does. Absolutely.
And you've been on this hard for the last little while, OVP. You've been on this hard, and I tip my hat to you over it. You need community. It's hard. It's hard to be. Hey, Muffin Top. It's hard to be a lone wolf. Yes, look, emotionally, mentally, it's easier to be a lone wolf. There are things that you don't have to think about when you're a lone wolf. All you have to worry about is you and your spouse, maybe, or your children. But in a true black sky event, you need community. Okay, my opinion.
Yeah. So I was,
and history shows that. I mean, every major disaster in history, the ones that fared the best were the communities that stuck together and helped each other and supported each other and shared their supplies, and that's the ones that fared the best. So that's just history lessons.
Well, and I think the problem is, and I think this was on Hudson Valley's show earlier. He was talking about how they went to go get cherries from the local farm and they got gouged to hell. I'm kind of paraphrasing, but I think that's the problem. Like, obviously, I've got an apple orchard coming eventually, in 3 to 5 years maybe, and I was just talking to the neighbor about it, and it's like, I'll quote unquote sell the apples to them, for $1 or something.
Double dog, like, what's up?
When it comes, like, it's not gonna, like, that's how it's going to be. There isn't going to be like charging the neighbors $80 for apples. Like, that's bullshit. That's like, you don't do that.
Some of that's going to happen now.
Well, and those people aren't going to be around for very long because they're going to be some oopsie-daisies in the backyard.
Right.
I hate to interrupt, but what a great night. We've had coffee show up and Devil Dog Prepper. Hoorah.
Yeah.
Glad y'all came by, man. Good to hear from you, Devil Dog.
Yeah. We ain't seen Devil Dog for a while.
No doubt.
Busy, but
we need to have him on the show. You need to come on the show again, Devil Dog. Just to let everybody know you're still alive.
And I need to get peaches too. That's what we were talking about. And I think I have 3 peaches, but I can't get them to do anything. But
I have peach tree, and there are, look, now I'll tell you, Chance, talking about peach trees, and I'll just tell you my little knowledge on it.
Yes, please.
There are a couple of varieties, and when I get time, I'll pull the variety. There are a couple of varieties that are good for mountain weather. But they're small peaches.
Like plum sized, kind of.
They're not very big, dude. But they're tasty. They taste good. I have one. I have one tree, and they're self-pollinating. I'll get that variety to you. I'll send you an email. I have to go look at it because
self-pollinating. God, I mean, self-pollinating is just an insane thing in and of itself. Because obviously, I pissed off the bumblebees this year.
Yeah.
And I pissed off the bumblebees last year, and thankfully they graced me with their presence again. But there was just a video that came out. I can't remember where it was off the top of my head, but this illegal was stomping all the beehives into the ground. He picked up some bricks and some cinder blocks, and he it's not going to take much for people to just wipe out our beehives, and then we would be really screwed, honestly.
Yeah. No, you're right.
That's a serious concern.
Pollinators are important, especially if you're homesteading or on what I like to call sustainable prepping.
Mm-hmm.
Pollinators are important, and I've killed the shit out of bees most of my life. I have an allergy to bees, and so I have killed them. Hello, Vision. Good to see you, brother.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, straighten up.
Daddy's home.
So, but pollinators are important, and you should be planting. And look, bees are one pollinator, okay?
I know. Hummingbirds.
Main pollinator. You need to be attracting hummingbirds and butterflies and moths. You need to be attracting those things.
Oh, are moths pollinators too? We got those things up the wazoo. They're dumb as hell, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, I concur. So, but
They sit at our front door like they want to be let in, like freaking animals.
well, they love the porch light, dude. They love,
Yeah, but the spiders also hang out. It's not.
Oh my God.
It doesn't work. Like, guys, one of you needs to go to the back door.
yeah. But you plant those butterfly bushes, and there's certain things you can plant
Okay.
that are beautiful.
Yeah.
You get to look at them too. Crepe myrtles, magnolias. These are things you can plant that will attract pollinators, right?
Yeah, you just don't want to plant too many, because if you plant too many, they won't pollinate anything else.
Right.
And so all you gals out there with your 850 trillion flowers wondering why nothing else is getting pollinated.
Right.
You might. I mean, I think it's
look, if you plant, there's certain berries, blueberries being one of them.
Yeah.
You need more than one blueberry bush. Okay.
Yep.
Because blueberries, there are. I don't know of any self-pollinating blueberry bushes. Okay. There are some blackberry bushes that will self-pollinate, but if you plant raspberries, in general, most blackberries, and I'm pretty sure I'm right, all blueberries need pollinators. So you need to plant them at least in pairs. So
We got a visitor.
Hey, look who showed up. TNT.
What's up, TMT?
Just got back from a walk with the kid. I wore him out.
There you go. So
TMT, we finally talk man to man, sort of.
What's up through the internet, kind of.
avatar to avatar, champ.
How y'all doing?
So, Muffin Top, what's going on out your way? What's the report from out this way?
Well, you know how I was predicting the $12 beef?
Yeah.
I
Yes.
don't know if you guys have seen, but beef just went up to over $7-ish a pound, like mid sevens here, like $7.30 to $7.50, depending on how lean you get it. I'm telling you, it's gonna get there.
But didn't Trump just say the other day, oh, beef prices are coming down?
Look, 5 minutes after he said that, the head of the damn beef association in America come on and said, "Would you please stop messing with it, government? Just stay out of the way. We will figure it out."
All the disease-ridden beef we've imported is not fit for consumption.
There you go.
Parasite-ridden.
It might give you the poopies. What is it? What do they call it? The volcanic diarrhea?
The cyclospora.
But, the Taco Bell.
Taco Bell.
Not the Taco Bell diarrhea. We're talking about volcanic diarrhea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's food and water and electrical, trying to produce it all. I think you guys are right. I like any kind of berry bush. That's a lot of vitamins. It's a lot of vitamin C. It's a lot of stuff you need, especially through winter. Big time. I've implemented it. My dwarf trees didn't produce anything this year. I'm hoping next year, because I'm not in a location that I can set up an apple orchard. That's a blessing for you. You may want to try adding some pear trees, because they can cross-pollinate with almost anything, and they're very hardy.
Yep. Yeah, and I'm going to tell y'all, if you plant an Asian pear, not the regular pears.
We do have one Asian pear.
All right, if you plant an Asian pear, that tree will bear so much fruit that you can't eat it all.
I know. I guard that thing with my damn life.
Those trees are amazing. Now, the only problem with Asian pears trees, in about 10 years, they're just like Bradford pears. They will. You need to plant it out nearby itself, because they will rob pollinators from other bushes. But in about 10 years, they get very splitty. They will break and die of their own accord. So you need to have a continuous run of those. But those Asian pear trees are wonderful, and my mom makes the best jelly out of those things. Oh my God!
So
now
we're kind of
Did your blueberry bush not produce any blueberries, or did the COO and Cole eat them all?
Yeah. So with my pears, what I've been doing, and I do need to prune one of them, is when they start shooting suckers out, because they're doing that splitting thing like you're talking about. Like they're shambles. They look like they're 10 trillion years old. And I'm like, you guys need to stop it.
Will
What
do.
What I do is I guard those suckers. I let them get a little big. I chop them out and I replant them. And so that Asian pear is already shot out like a huge sucker that I grabbed last year. And it's doing amazing. So they're really good about that. And I'm thankful.
You can actually graft a pear to an apple tree too, by the way.
Yep. I haven't learned grafting yet because the little grafting kits are never at the store. But that's the next thing I want to do. As soon as my trees get a little bigger.
Look, I'm in apple country. Henderson, the county I'm in, is the largest apple producing county in the whole United States. And so I grew up appling, and I've watched my grandfather, my uncles all graft apple trees. I don't have enough apple trees to worry about it. But no, Vision, they'll come. The blueberries, look, and my grandma used to say, if you're going to grow blueberries, grow enough for the birds, the squirrels, and the bats, and the deer.
Put nets over them here so that way they get a themselves.
But, once a blueberry bush is big enough, it'll handle all, and you'll have enough blueberries for you. But it takes a couple of years to get a blueberry bush where you want it.
Yep. I just got one this year, and I'm not expecting maybe a couple.
Yeah, I know he got blueberries last year because he was saying that Cole and the COO kept eating them.
Yeah. And Chance is right. There are certain varieties that are biannual. But here, man, I'm telling you, man, I'm so blessed here in West North Carolina. Look, you just get off the main road, find a meadow somewhere, and you're going to find so many blueberry bushes. Of course, you're also going to find a whole shitload of black bears too. But yes, that's right, Prepper Ready.
It's easy to avoid the black bears. You just follow their crap everywhere, and then just stop going down that trail, and you won't.
The fresher it gets, go the other way.
Because like they'll eat the elderberry bushes down to nothing, and then you just follow the crap and just stop going that way.
They even eat pokeberries, man. They'll eat anything, man. Bears will eat any damn thing, and we have lots of black bears here. But Mother Nature grows enough blueberries for us and them if you want to go pick them. So, yes, you do.
Muffin Top, you think you're going live here in a little bit?
Yep. I was going to organize my my prepping gear area has kind of gotten a little out of hand, and I've kind of been grabbing stuff and setting it here and there and not putting it back where it's supposed to be. So I was just going to do a vertical YouTube live so I can walk about.
Right on. So when we get off of here, y'all go watch Muffin Tops live.
Yeah, it's usually pretty entertaining.
I try. Just kind of wing most of them.
Well, no, TMT, you had a great one the other night. You were talking to that guy in the chat. I was all in on that.
Oh yeah, I like messing with the trolls.
I was that went on for way longer than I expected, and it was worth every penny.
I don't get any trolls. I don't seem to very rarely.
You need to go vertical more often.
I mean, other than Chance, but
a lot. And I'm telling you, man, when you go vertical, the trolls go up, baby.
Yep.
Really? See, I've never done a vertical one.
Yeah, sarcasm.
I'll do that sometime.
So.
Yeah, somebody link Muffin Top's channel, please. But
yeah,
I got his lives are
entertaining in there somewhere.
So, but look,
yeah, okay. I try to hop in. Usually, I'm at work. There it is.
So we haven't had a question in a while,
chance.
And we were talking backstage, and I would really like to hear Muffin Top's opinion on this too. We were talking about the USS Abraham Lincoln backstage, and all the press that they got for bitching. Well, is the easiest way. Now, I'm going to preface this, waiting on your comments, TMT, that it is the sovereign right of every sailor, Marine, airman, grunt, army dog in the world to bitch. Okay. Nobody can bitch like a serviceman. Okay. So, having said that, I don't disagree that they were probably bitching, but that's what we do. So, but the problem came when their wives started bitching to the Department of Defense. So we start getting all this press about how living conditions on board the USS Abraham Lincoln stink. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it really does stink because that's what being in the Navy is. So your thoughts, TMT and Chance, I want to hear what you got to say too, buddy.
Well, I have talked to a Marine, and I have a family member who was a sailor. He was on a sub, so it's a little bit different.
Oh, my God.
A little bit worse, right? Because you can jump off and
just live.
I talked to them about it before I gave my opinion, and they're like, "What's your opinion?" I said, "Honestly, here's the deal. You're in the service. Don't be a bitch. If you want that food, go fucking get it. If you're going to bitch about what they are giving you, you better go find a way to make it yourself, get it yourself. I mean, today's day and age, we get care packages from home, and you get chapstick in the sandbox, you get all these goodies, you get deodorant sent to you, all this, that, and the other. Don't tell me you're not getting that. I think the ones that were bitching were the libtards that were trying to make the military look bad and don't give a shit about it. And they're there for the bare minimum checkout, just like a lot of guys do. And everybody I know that has been in for 16, 20 years, you know, they don't get out until they get disabled. Those are the real ones that you want there, and they ain't going to fucking bitch about it. So that's how I feel about it. You signed up, figure it out.
They know that.
That's kind of how Mad Shad put it. And he's like, you guys are a bunch of pussies and you're not warriors. And I agree.
I don't think it's the warrior. I think it's their damn wives. I think it's the dependopotamuses that's the ones that's doing all the bitching. But
dependopotamuses.
How do you feel about it?
So first I'll preface this by saying I'm not in the military and I wasn't in the military, so feel free to just chop me up and throw me to the sharks. But one of the crazier things I read is that, because a lot of it was rumors and nonsense, and one of them said there's 500 pregnant gals on the ship, and that was interesting. And I hadn't, like, obviously that I mean, it could be true. I don't know. I don't think that's mathematically possible, but it's the reason why I'm saying that is because it was an interesting concept of like what would happen if you had 500 pregnant gals on the ship. If I'm not mistaken, they do have birthing wards on those ships. That's what I understand.
Well,
I'm not sure.
Probably keep your damn legs together and.
Well, but they don't do that, right? I mean, those ships are like fuck fests.
Yeah.
From what I understand.
What I understand too. I never was fleet, but.
And they know they got to be out for a year, so they know they could be out for even longer than that. So I mean, presumably they have birthing wards. And I heard those birthing wards aren't very great. But here's the thing: like, if they don't already plan and prep for this, like, then what are they doing? And the answer is, of course, they plan and prep for this.
Well, of course, the Navy has planned and prepped for this.
Yeah, it's not. And I think what happens is people conflate what happens on Carnival cruise liners, which we all know what happens on Carnival cruise liners because we've seen that shit 1,000 times.
Right.
And they assume that the military is ran like a Carnival cruise, and it's just not. Like, they're two different things. And so I think once rumors start flying, and I think that you're going to hear tons of insane things like 500 pregnant gals on the ship, and people are just going to run with it.
Right.
And it's going to create a huge fucking PR mess. And that's what it turned into. It turned into a PR mess, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's what happened.
Because
that's my 2 cents.
Because if it's on the internet, it's true, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
just like we were all going to float away there a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Oh shit, I forgot about that.
That's so funny.
I forgot about it. I forgot.
But again-
I talked about that on my chat, dude. That would be
I was
if it actually happened. I mean, think about it, dude. Kids out at recess, people outside, no gravity for 7 seconds. Like everybody who's outside who drops is fucking dead.
Dude.
That would
When
be
the
insane.
I was
We're all
waiting
going
to
to
see
be in the
somebody tied
vacuum
to a
of
tree.
space. It's so ridiculous. Everybody was prepping for that
Right.
shit. But when the atmosphere's
Yeah,
gone, you
that
can
was
prep all you
hilarious.
friggin' want.
I took the day off and I chained myself to a stump, bro.
You know what? I forgot about it. I went to worked like a damn dog all day. Oh my god.
I was waiting. I was waiting to see somebody tied to a tree. I really was.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Dude, that was so funny. So
That was
funny.
a good
to see
good what if scenario,
Pete
though.
said, "Oh, okay, cool."
You know, the
yeah,
losing
I would-
gravity scenario is not too far off from if we had like a 10.0 or an 11, whatever because those earthquakes would be so strong that they would be launching us like a trampoline,
Sure.
except without
Yeah.
the happy ending. So
Right.
like it's
But something
I don't
like
think
that
it-
actually could happen.
or a tornado grabbing you and tossing you like a freaking cow. So I don't think it's
Yeah.
that much of a joke to prepare for something like that, except for the fact that you can't. Even if you're in a house, you're getting turned to jelly smacked against your roof.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but it is very plausible. Someone doing that stupid Cirque du Soleil thing just fell 15 feet the other day, and she got fucked up. Like
Oh yeah.
this stuff happens.
Yeah.
People fall out of buildings and construction, and
Oh yeah.
yeah, I mean,
no, it's
falling is no fun.
Yeah,
no.
that was a little far fetched, though.
It
Yeah.
was.
Hey,
it was.
It got us talking about something different though. That was pretty cool. So, but again, yeah, look. At the end of the day, y'all, no matter what you're prepping for, right? And look, we all have, and we have a pretty good time here on Sunday night talking about
Oh yeah,
whatever the hell catastrophic event we're worried about. But at the end of the day, man, you know, it's the rule of threes, and whatever you're prepping for, you know, keep it real, control what you can control, and have a plan. You know, I mean, that's just have a plan.
exactly.
And you know, we try to reinforce that every Sunday night here. Have a plan and execute your plan. You know, it's one thing to write it on a piece of paper. You have to put paper into action sometimes, and so there you go. There's my 2 cents worth of old guy wisdom for you.
Well, yeah,
I mean,
and that's
that's
something
what-
we mention every week. You know, I mean, is you got to have a plan. You got to, you know, your
There you
plan
go.
might not work, but at least it's a starting point.
There you go, Vision. Plan.
What I do, and I know people think I'm insane, and for the 2 people that listen to my podcast, you know, I'm constantly just repeating my plan to myself.
Right.
Constantly, I'm continually positively reinforcing. Like, now I have a gravel pile, so I'm constantly going to be telling myself I have to take care of my gravel pile, and I have to go out and water. It's that reinforcement of building a routine because here's what happens: everybody fucking builds in excuses, and they build in every reason to why to not do something. And you talk to them, and well, I just can't justify that. I just blah blah blah. Instead of them reinforcing that they should do something and why, and then executing it, they're constantly reinforcing why they shouldn't fucking do things and why nothing matters. And those are the people that don't ever get shit done because they're constantly negatively and reinforcing. Anyway, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. That's why I do what I do.
Until something happens. Until something happens, like the hurricane down where Mark was, or the power outage in Indiana, or the floods down by Columbus. Then all of a sudden they go, you know, I probably should have done the things that people were telling me to do. Or,
Well, yeah, it's funny. Sometimes it's a motivator. Sometimes it's a negator. They're like, oh, hell, I don't know. I can't. There's no way I can prepare for that. You know, and that's just not true.
Well, I'll tell you, I got to get off here. I'll tell you the biggest prep I did this weekend was I relaxed with family and we enjoyed ourselves. If anybody's seen my grilling video, Bondo's favorite's my ribs, so I did my 6-hour 3-2-1 method smoker ribs. He loves them.
Hoorah.
I had some steaks because the wife wanted some steaks and I wanted some chicken for my lunches, so I kind of did everything on the grill. I had the burgers, had the hot dogs, had the whole nine, right? But I bought another standing freezer, and mine's chock full. It's almost hunting season. I'm going to fill this thing up with protein. So every single sale I can find, I'm picking up ham, I'm picking up fish, I'm picking up chicken, I'm picking up steak, because man, that price in another year or two, people ain't going to be able to afford steak. I'm telling you.
Yep.
Like people on a budget, people with fixed incomes, retired people, elderly people, people on Medicare. If you want some good protein, you better put it back now.
Yeah, because with the grain shortage, next year is when the meat is really going to be scarce.
Well, the next problem is nobody bred. Everybody just sold to grind, right? Nobody expanded their cattle herds. Everybody just sold to relieve their pocketbook on feed and everything because they can't afford it. That ain't worth nothing for them.
Yeah, and I think in that regard, I know you said you got to balance. It's cattle security is going to become paramount. I've been screaming about this. Like sooner or later, we say people are going to come take our apple trees. People are going to come take your cattle. Like it's going to be like a rural war.
Yeah,
trying to defend cattle.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
I don't know what that looks like yet, but it's going to.
No, I don't think anybody does. It's never happened in this country. Well, it did.
Well, not for 100 years.
Yeah, back in the old West.
Yeah.
That's how Billy the Kid got famous, cattle war.
I can tell you, bluegill finally go away.
Yeah, we have hit our hour.
Oh, damn it!
We'll let Muffin Top say some final words because he's got to go, and then we'll just go around after that. So,
all right. Hey, y'all. Stay vigilant, get fit, stack supplies, and build a trusted group, man. I cinched up my little deal there, and that's really what you need to be doing. Anything you guys can do to help, whether it's getting pallets, pulling nails, saving the wood, that's free. Whether it's going hunting, whether it's going fishing, cutting trees together, digging holes, do it now.
Yep.
Do it now.
Yep. I agree. So when we get off here, y'all go check out Muffin Top's live stream. And I would just say, listen, learn a new skill and talk to a neighbor. That's your homework this week. Talk to a neighbor. Just you got to build those relationships now before you need them. Mark, what do you got for us?
Look, so I've been giving y'all a little something every Sunday night. So tomorrow morning, buy your coffee somewhere different. So buy your coffee somewhere different. Make yourself hard to kill. You ain't dead yet. Tell the ones you love that you love them. Your turn, Chance.
I make my own coffee. Go ahead, Chance. Take us home.
Thanks for having me. And yes, I was literally talking to my neighbor just before we recorded this. So that was really cool. My new book or the update to my book is coming out very, very soon. I think everyone's going to be very surprised. I've been incorporating everyone's feedback. So if you've never checked it out before, in the next couple weeks, Bunker Basics summer update, it finally bridges all the prepping with the homesteading, which is everything that we've been talking about. I agree. Yep. Like steak and all that, like the cows, like one of these days there just isn't going to be cows and chickens anymore if we don't figure this out, because for this quick buck, people will try to make a quick buck and sell it, and then there just won't be anything else.
Bro. Yeah.
And so buy my book soon.
Yeah.
That's it.
Go check out Chance's channel. Go check out Chance's book. We will see you all next week over on Mark's channel, unless we have some weather problems again. You never know.
We'll see what happens.
Crazy lately. So, try to get Double Dog on. See if he's busy next week.
Yeah, I'm going to contact him.
It's we ain't heard from him for a while. So everybody, thanks for stopping by. Be safe this week. Keep doing the things. and we will see you all next week. Have a good week, everybody.
0 hour.